Alright, Galaxy Note 7, second version that was recalled. So I had to make a choice between different phones. So I actually decided to get two different phones, S7 Edge and the iPhone 7 Plus. So with this one, this is the 256 gigabyte iPhone. And the S7 Edge, I got the 32 gigabyte because it takes a micro SD card. So there's actually a 256 gigabyte micro SD card in my S7 Edge. So the two phones that I have right now are these phones, the S7 Edge and the iPhone 7 Plus. Both have the same size screen, but you'll notice that the iPhone is significantly wider and taller. So if I just put them down like that, you can kind of see that. They're both in super thin cases right now. Build quality is solid on both of these devices. I mean, can't complain too much, but at the end of the day, they are both lacking in that neither one of them match all the features of the Note 7. Like, hands down, by far, Note 7 was the best phone I've had. If I didn't have to fly, I would have just kept using it. But considering you can't even board the planes with it anymore, I had to swap it out just because of the times I travel for work. So I'm switching off between these two phones. So which one of these is better? I can't really say. I mean, if you're going with the S7 Edge, it is pretty similar to the Note 7 in that all the specs were pretty similar anyways, but you missed the S Pen, slightly smaller screen, so you missed parts of that. And then with the iPhone, it's just a completely different story because you're going iOS, so you're not using Android anymore. And it's just a different feel just because of the actual software that you use. I'm not completely used to it, but then I do use a MacBook, so some of the syncing between the iPhone and the MacBook is nice. You also have the dual lens right here, so that's pretty neat. Hoping they put something similar in the S8 or the Note 8. But yeah, I mean, to basically sum it up, I'm having to swap between two other feature-rich phones just to make up for everything that was in this one phone. So it's too bad and it's a shame, but as it is right now, these are the two phones that I'm using. Actually got to play around with the V20 today. Would probably recommend that as well. Haven't had a chance to use a Pixel yet, but if you want to go as close to the Note 7 as possible, I'm going to say get the S7 Edge. Some rumors are, at least in Korea, if you have a S7 Edge, when you swap to the S8 or the Note 8, they're going to be running some type of promotion for those who went from a Note 7 to another Galaxy device. So that could be a reason to get the S7 Edge and hold on to it. But they haven't stated, if that's coming to the US or not. So I don't know if you want to go with that route. iPhone's been interesting just because it's a completely different experience. But there are some major pros to this phone that are different from Android, but again, that's a preference on software and which one you prefer. I mean, most people aren't going to be getting multiple phones from different lines and playing around with them, but I just happen to have these two right now. One thing about the S7 Edge is that it is pretty similar, at least hardware wise, to the Note 7. I mean, you can tell right here. The back doesn't have the curve that the Note 7 had, and the screen doesn't go all the way to the edges like the Note 7 did, but this is actually as close to the Note 7 as you're going to get in terms of that hardware feel. And it's, it's still a nice, really solid phone. One-handed operation is actually really good just because of this size. It works perfectly, but you're missing that S Pen. It's a slightly smaller screen, so I don't know if if that's something you want to go for. So there you have it, the Note 7 saga, I guess. For the time being, S7 Edge, iPhone 7 Plus.